In the words of someone a whole lot smarter and much more talented, it is a hockey night in Pittsburgh as the Penguins continue their quest to keep the cup in Pittsburgh. Oldest guy to ever score an overtime game winner in NHL hockey history, Chris Kunitz, 37-plus years old when he put away the Ottawa Senators in Game 7 in double overtime the other night. Tonight it is Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final against the Nashville Predators, and the Pens have home ice advantage for it. And it's going to be another gold out for the fans. The big screen's back outside the People's Gate as the Predators come into town. They've actually been here for a couple of days as they participated in Media Day yesterday. The NHL Network is in town for those games as well. And NHL studio host Tony Luftman joins us now as we take a look and get his take on the series. Welcome to Pittsburgh.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
This is a place that we like to think of as hockey town in sort of a different way, with all due respect to Detroit.
Understood.
They've had that corner on the market for their cup runs. Last team to defend successfully,
that's right,
was a Detroit team
97, 98, right?
And now the Penguins are looking to do that again, something they did 91, 92. Why is it so hard in this day and age to successfully defend the cup?
It's a great question. I think the biggest thing is health, because it's such a violent sport, because it's collisions, because it's so physical, particularly over the course of the Stanley Cup playoffs. You guys have seen it. Chris Letang was so important last year in the cup run. He's not been available the entire cup run this year. He figured in every goal that won a game last year in the cup final, and he had the cup clinching goal. Without Chris Letang, a lot of people thought these Pens were in deep trouble. The depth of this team is remarkable. And Jim Rutherford yesterday at Media Day told us the character of this team. John Wooden said it takes talent to get to the top. Character keeps you there. This team has tremendous character and depth of talent, too.
A lot of people wondered why Jim Rutherford's first trade would have been sending a guy from Pittsburgh to Nashville to get Patrick Hornquist, and he brings some of that character that I think you're talking about there. Who were some of the other players that maybe aren't the Crosbys and Malkins? Johansson's out for Nashville, too. Who were some of the other guys that are sort of that second tier or third wing type of guy who can make a difference in a final?
I love Connor Sheary. This is a guy who in Game 7 came in and had an enormous impact. You talked about Chris Kunitz. What a story. That he scores 2 goals in that game. He had no goals in the playoffs before that, but of course he's already won 3 cups. 1 with the Mighty Ducks, 2 here with the Pens. He won a gold medal with Canada with Crosby in 2014. There's something about guys that can deliver in a big spot. You remember former Penguin Mike Rupp. He scored the cup clincher in 03 with the Devils. Certain people are able to elevate their game when there's so much pressure. That's what's fascinating about the cup finals, to see who can do that.
And we remember Max Talbot here in Pittsburgh as well. Another guy that wasn't known, as a big-time scorer. Put away Detroit in 2009 when they did win the cup there for the 3rd time in franchise history. When we talk about goaltending, Marc-Andre Fleury was the guy early. To have the courage to pull the string on making that change and go to Matt Murray, who helped to win the cup last year, how much of a talking point was that for the people at NHL Network to say, what in the world is Coach Sullivan doing?
He is bold. When you sit across from him, the thing that strikes you right away is this is a self-assured, confident guy. And that move demonstrates just how confident he was, because at the time he pulled Fleury out of the net, there are a lot of people who thought he was on his way to winning the Conn Smythe. If the Pens win, Fleury's the guy. He shut out the Caps in Game 7. This is a Caps team that had won the President's Trophy 2 years in a row. Amazing.
Scores a ton of goals.
Yet that team was so dangerous, and yet Fleury totally neutralized them in the biggest game of the year. Murray's been great. It's a tremendous luxury to have 2 guys that are that good.
And the issue then becomes expansion, but that's a whole nother subject, for the offseason. As we look at this particular final, how do you see it playing out? Nashville has had incredible goaltending themselves.
Yes, they have.
I mean, he has been really just dynamic in terms of right from the get-go, back-to-back shutouts against Chicago on the road to now running through Anaheim and what they've done in between there. Who has the edge when it comes to goaltending in the series, do you think?
It's fascinating to see how Pekka Rinne will perform in the pressure-packed Stanley Cup final. You never know until a guy's actually playing in those kind of games. Matt Murray, that was the question for him last year. We saw he was just fine. I see no reason why Rinne won't continue to achieve the way he has. Can he maintain his save percentage, which is
.941.
Ridiculous. Putting him in the same neighborhood as Jonathan Quick, who won the Conn Smythe in 12. J.S. Jaguar in 03 posted a similar save percentage. They lost the final, but he still won the Conn Smythe. That was the Devils. To me, the biggest question is, which team is able to dictate. The Pens have the most explosive offense. The Preds have the stingiest defense. It's the old adage, does defense win championships? Something tells me Sidney Crosby, who's as clutch as they come, and Evgeny Malkin, who's put up more points than anybody, that offense is going to be tough to totally limit. I think the series goes 7 games.
And yet at the same time, Nashville's defense scores a ton of points too.
Very explosive on the back end.
Perhaps if you can get behind them, maybe you've got a chance for some odd man rushes, which against Rinne may be the difference. In the series.
You definitely want to create opportunities where you do have odd man rushes, because if he sees it, he's stopping it. Right. He is so locked in. 34 years old, he understands just how precious this opportunity is.
Do Pittsburgh fans have any idea what's in store for their team when they go to Smashville?
It's unreal. So 130 decibels is the sound of an airplane taking off. That's how loud it gets there. We were there for the All-Star game last year, and I said to Kevin Weeks, who was sitting next to me, I said, this is an exhibition. This is the All-Star game. Can you imagine what these people would do if this were like, I don't know, a playoff
game that really matters, right?
And these games really matter. It's going to be unreal in Smashville.
And you know full well that they're going to be bringing out all the country stars.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You know, Carrie Underwood married to Mike Fisher, who's the captain. And, you know, whether it's the anthem there at the beginning or the people who are there, it is going to be a big-time party. Are you in the prediction business?
If you want me to predict, I don't think it's going to be a popular one.
Oh.
I think the Preds in 7.
But are you really?
I'm fascinated by the unpredictable nature of it. I never would have guessed that Ottawa would have gotten to the conference final. May that be comforting to your viewers, that I really have no idea what's coming, and that's what makes it fun.
And a couple of American coaches for the first time in Cup
history. Ever.
Behind both benches.
In Peter Laviolette and Mike Sullivan. Whichever one wins will be the first American coach to win 2 cups.
Unbelievable. Thank you very much for being
here.
We could talk hockey for a long time.
Yeah, we could.
It's great that you're here, and we appreciate the perspective of the NHL Network.
My pleasure.
Thanks. It's a great opportunity to see what's going on not only with the Penguins, but also the Predators. Game 1 is tonight. Game 2 will be Wednesday night. Games 3 and 4 move to the Tennessee Capitol. That'll be a Saturday, Monday. Game 5 if necessary. Game 7 if necessary would be Pittsburgh. Game 6 would be a Nashville game. Keep it with KDKA and KDK.com for complete coverage of the Cup. You can catch Tony as co-host on the NHL Network. That'll be tonight. Stanley Cup pre- and post-game shows again on the NHL Network. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it.